Okay, let's see if this is working, because at the moment I can't tell. Oh, yep, here we go. Stream's just now pulling up. Okay, so my name is MichaelXX2. Brenna likes to refer to me as Donny. Oh god, hold on, I need to fix something. Alright, that should solve the mono issue. Hold on just a second. Okay, now that that's been solved, I'm going to start streaming Mega Man, which is going to involve me putting the cartridge into my Nintendo Entertainment System. It's exciting. Um, that's not right. Yeah, there it goes. I think it's working now. Okay, so I'm not gonna go through the opening cinematic because I'm sure you guys have seen Mega Man opening cinematics at least 17 million times. So, of course, the first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go to Metal Man's stage. I really like Mega Man 2. It's either this or Mega Man 6 is my favorite NES Mega Man game. As far as my favorite NES game in general, I honestly don't know. I think my favorite Mega Man game is probably this one, but my favorite NES game is Mega Man 6, if that makes any sense. Which it doesn't. You're gonna be finding a lot of that in this stream. Alright, so what in the hell do I talk about? Well, I guess I should mention that this is a charity stream for charity, and the charity that this charity stream is charitable for is the Wounded Warrior Project. And, quite what they do, I don't know. If somebody could explain that to me in the chat, that'd be lovely. I can assume, but I don't know exactly what they do. Also, I can only glance at the stream every now and then, so if y'all have any specific questions, I might not answer them. Because I'm playing off to the side in a small television. Extra life, just for good measure. The goal here in Mega Man 2 is not to die. In Mega Man 6 I'm probably gonna die because I'm terrible, but in Mega Man 2 I'm slightly less terrible. And, one thing that I enjoy about this game more than any other Mega Man game... Yeah. Yeah, Bryn, I just saw your explanation of the Wounded Warrior Project. That's good. That's a good thing that they do. I don't personally have any family members that were affected by war, but if I did, that would be a great thing. Alright, so that's Mega Man down. Not Mega Man. Metal Man. I hope the colors are coming out alright on the stream. They look a bit weird. Now that I have the metal blades, I can pretty much go to any other stage with no problems at all. Now, Bubble Man has this one specific part in it that can be a little bit of a pain in the ass, so to speak. It can also be a piece of shit. What's really great about Bubble Man is that if you have a capture card that has a particularly low bandwidth, like mine does, you know, like a bit rate, then the stream just takes a shit and it looks awful. Looks perfectly alright on my television screen, but for you it probably looks really bad. Yeah, I'm seeing that over there, it looks really bad. Shouldn't be out here in this waterfall stuff for too long, so don't worry. This game has pretty good music, I like it. Overall, I think I like the Mega Man 6 soundtrack a little better, because it has better standout tunes, but as far as a general quality thing goes, Mega Man 2 beats it. Holy shit. There's nothing quite like playing classic video games on a real console, you know? I used to emulate a lot, but I've stopped emulating in favor of the real thing. The only sacrifice you really have to make is a considerable drop in video quality, but it's really nothing to be worried about. I like the absence of input lag. Somebody sent me a message on Skype, I'm not going to read it. These frogs are real pieces of shit. These crabs like to come down and ruin everything. I'm sure everything has an official name, like, how bats in Mario games are called. What are bats in Mario games called? They're called something specific. Alright, Bubble Man, this boss is going to be particularly difficult, so bear with me. That just really takes a lot out of me every time, guys. So, yeah. I'm a little shaken from that, actually. Oh my god, these little sequences where you get equipped with X take a very long time, and they're very annoying. Especially if you happen to have one of the items available to you at that point. Who am I gonna go to next? I don't really have any specific order I do this in. I just kind of get the metal blades, and there is a very loose order I take. Like, I'm not going to go to Heatman stage until I get item 2, and to be honest, I don't even remember what stage you get item 2 in. But it's one of these, and as soon as I get it, that's where I'm going. Because there's this one particular part in Heatman stage that pretty much requires the use of item 2. I almost called it Iron Man 2. That's the only Iron Man movie I don't own. Now, something interesting about this big robot dog here is that he looks pretty similar to Rush, which is a popular 80s sort of synth band. I wonder, did they name Rush in Mega Man after the band Rush? That'd be an interesting little factoid, because I know a lot of things in Mega Man were named after music for absolutely no real reason. You know, it's a little interesting, I guess. Sudden change in color. If you're in a particularly dark room, that can be very jarring. But, I remember staying up on... Really, it was Christmas Eve night, so I guess it was technically early Christmas morning. The lights were all dark, and I was just playing this game over and over and over, trying to get it. Particularly Quickman, because Quickman is quite the character. to say the least. Those little rabbit things shoot carrots, and I just got hit by one, which means I'm a total failure. Now, Woodman is another one of those bosses that is extremely difficult. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do this one on stream. I'm sorry if that was a bit gruesome for some of you guys. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Oh, come on, Gerudo507. There's nothing wrong with a little kappa between friends. Who am I going to go to next? Gonna go to Flashman so I can go to Quickman next. Also, what's really fun is that I need to make sure to watch my feet, because if I hit the table that my NES is sitting on, it will absolutely ruin the game. Because any slight movement will cause the game to die. Which, to be honest, the NES was kind of an awful piece of hardware. It just didn't really work right. And as good as the games were, the actual system itself was just unreliable and bad. You know, you had the problem with the blinking horrible light. Oh god, I forgot to go to Airman. Because these Sniper Joes with their big walk-in things, and I'm just gonna call those the... Somebody give me a creative name to call the big mecha suit things. I don't care what it is. The first person to give me a name, that's what I'm gonna call it. As long as it's not something, you know, overtly offensive. Or maybe I will, even if it is overtly offensive. That's just how I roll. Walksters. So yeah, I'm gonna take the high road here and avoid the walksters. Because over here is a free E-Tank. Now, unlike Mega Man 6, and I think Mega Man 3 started this, where, if you get a game over, you retain your E-Tanks. But, oh, god. This game, if you die and you get a game over, then there is no replenishing your E-Tanks. They're just gone. Just, they poof, disappear, never getting them back. Alright. Now, Flashman provides me with an interesting challenge, and I have to change my strategy a little bit to cope with him. So, yeah, that was Flashman. If you haven't noticed, the bosses in this game can be a little underwhelming. That's what a lot of subsequent games improved on, is just making the boss fights a little bit more interesting. Because in this game, to be honest, they're just really kind of extremely easy. Excuse me for a second. To be honest, I think Doge is pretty funny. It was definitely a lot better when it was called the Sheeb, or the Shy Bee, whatever the hell it's called. But just the face makes me laugh a lot. Just the image without any of the stupid text. In my stupid Skype group I exist in, our favorite one is the computer science one, and I have to agree because that one's pretty funny. Just look up Doge Computer Science, I'm sure you can find it. So anyway, Quickman is absolutely notorious. Oh my god. There was a Skype call and I got distracted and I died. I am so sorry you had to see that. Really, I should just take my headphones off, because I'm not listening to anybody. I absolutely loathe this stage. This is the stage that I'm probably the most familiar with, because I had to do it 517 trillion billion times in order to get through these stupid lasers. And, if I paid $50 for this back in 1980, whenever this was released, I don't know. Alright, I'm gonna shut up for a second. Yeah, those lasers can be really awful, but, thankfully I was able to get through them. Gotta encounter more walksters real quick before I can get to the thing. Like I said, these walksters are weak to the... or maybe I didn't say this, I don't know. They're weak to Airman's weapon, but I don't have Airman's weapon right now because of an oversight in the path I took. No, Toast, I'm not Michael Brewer 7 on Reddit. Alright, let's see. What strategy am I going to use for this? I could have used the Flashman laser thing, but to be honest, it just takes longer. So I just decided to finish him off with my pea shooter. The early Mega Man games don't call it a Mega Buster, they call it just a P. So, some people call it a pea shooter to be hilarious. I call it the Proton Cannon. Just, you know, bring a little bit of seriousness into the game. I guess seriousness and Mega Man don't really go together exclusively. Next up is Heat Man. Wait. Do I have item 2? Do I have item 2? Please tell me. Oh, no! Screw this. Oh god, I'm gonna lose all my E-tanks. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. God damn it. Yeah, I don't need those E-tanks anyway. I am not doing this stage without item 2. I've never done it, I've never tried. Airman's where you get it. I can't believe I missed that. How many fucking extra lives do I have? Alright, well that was really embarrassing. But, we can go to Airman, which is a stage that I don't hate. To be honest, Heat Man is really bad. If I actually had to go through the long part where you have to, jump around on those, blocks that appear and disappear, it'd probably be worse than Flashman. Or no, Quickman. Quickman's the one with the big lasers. Either way, this game has some very annoying segments in it. Now, I always thought these things kind of looked like devil grandmas. Because, you know, they've got the white hair, and they've got the horns that come up. I wonder if any particular event triggers the horn coming up. I don't even want to imagine. This part in particular can be a big pain in the ass, as you have to deal with these mini Zeuses. Can anybody tell me if there's any other Greek or Roman god besides Zeus that specializes in lightning bolts. So I don't want to say Zeus, because Zeus wouldn't make an appearance in this game. He's far too busy making love to innocent civilians and fucking their lives up or something. I gotta say, ancient Roman religion, like the Greek gods and stuff, some of that was really funny. Just how immature they were. Now this is the part where you don't have safety blocks to jump on. You have a couple. I don't know anything about this game. I'm being attacked by racists. And when these horns go down, I can get off of this thing. Hey you! Get off of my cloud! You can actually make those puffy things go away if you try. Just kind of shitting the screen a little bit, you can make them go away. Like that. It's actually really easy. Sometimes I just do it on accident, like I just did. Oh, Jesus. That could have been really bad. Fucking bird piece of shit. For Airman, his weakness is the wood shield. And the wood shield is known in this game for having absolutely no purpose. Except this. Come on. That boss fight in particular is a little challenging. Yep, now we get to go through the sequence where I get item 2, and I can actually get my... You know, I can actually get past Heat Man. Yeah, don't worry. I don't think not having E-Tanks is going to be that big of a deal. There is one particular part at the very end of the game, the very last boss fight, that's going to give me some problems, but I should have a decent amount of E-Tanks by then. I'm going to go to Heat Man now that I have item 2. So, in this stage, welcome to the Fires of Hell. Not because of what it looks like, but because of what it is. The stage is hell. There's nothing redeeming about this stage, and everything in it makes me angry. Like, not jumping on time. What the fuck? But I guess going into it with a bad attitude is exactly what's going to get me killed repeatedly. My hands are a little shaky. I can't tell you when I first started playing this game how many times I died because you actually physically stop if you pick up something and... like if you're low on your weapon energy and you run over a pill, then it actually stops you for a bit. And if you jump, then the game will ignore your input and you will actually fall to your death if you're not paying attention. I always make sure there's nothing obstructing me before I make a particularly tricky jump. Speaking of tricky, let's play! Never gonna let Brenna forget about that awful, awful game. I was actually gonna stream Star Fox Adventures for you guys' delight, but then I realized I hate that game, so I'm streaming a game that I don't hate. Because, I don't know that game anymore. I used to kind of know it, but, I doubt I could finish it in 4 hours. I doubt I could finish it in fucking 17 years. So I've never actually beaten the game. It's got good graphics, it's just a little kind of shitty, you know. Same thing can be said about a lot of modern games. One thing I really like about vintage video games is that they have really nice gameplay. And they don't have very much input lag, so you really get that sense of, I am controlling this character, and you become the character. It's gonna coast right on past this extra life here. I'm not actually sure if it's possible to pick up one of those while you're moving on something, and I don't really care to find out. Well, I have the airman thing, so I can actually show you guys. See, the fruit and shooties actually are weak to that thing. It's the only use that the damn airman thing has. I don't know why I equipped the metal blades. Let's see. Now, the demonic Emperor of Hell is weak to bubbles. Man, I don't know how I passed that one. That sure was an exciting boss fight. Now, Mega Man 9 actually alleviates the problem of having boring boss fights, because it has extremely difficult stages and extremely difficult boss fights. And I can't beat a single Robot Master in Mega Man 9. I can't do it. There's a video on my YouTube channel of me going through this stage. I just blazed right through it absolutely perfectly as Proto Man, but I just couldn't beat the boss. I couldn't do it. So that was very infuriating back when I was actually bothering to play that game. Yeah, fucking Mega Man 9. Now, Crash Man, I believe, is where the developers of this game started to get lazy, because the music in this stage is very weak. It's pretty happy, but it's very weak. And to be honest, the dynamic of this stage isn't really captured very well by the color palette nor the music. But, you know, that's just my opinion, man. Speaking of things, if you guys look at those little orbs, like, oh, fuck you. Fucking Metools. If you look at this thing right here, looks like a dog. Like, you see little eyes in the nose and the mouth. It's a dog, I'm telling you. I don't know if there's actually supposed to be a dog there, but there is a dog there, so just take my word for it. This is Irate Blue. This is what the background of this thing is. It's a real color, look it up. Especially since I'm sitting about 3 inches away from my television, it's just this big, bright color. Shit. These floaty things, I like to call them hamburgers, because there's a racist underneath it, and there are 2 blue hamburger buns. Because I don't know if you guys have eaten blue hamburger buns, but they are delicious. They also don't exist, which attributes to how delicious they are. And yeah, like I said, this is really lazy, because if you look at the dogs, you can see that the pipes just don't line up with it. I don't know what those pipes are useful for, because they're twisting and bending around like, I don't know, a paraplegic. So now we begin the everlasting climb, and it goes to a slightly darker shade of blue that doesn't quite molest my eyes as much. On the stream, it's kind of rendering that color as more of a purple, but trust me, it's not purple, it's blue. Right now we're in black, but it was blue back then. Ah, shit. These birds give me serious problems. I feel like I'm gonna take a shit. At least it's not gonna drop it in the... There's just no commentary for this. It's just... I'm probably gonna die soon. An E-tank to replenish the one that I foolishly destroyed. Wait, no. Let's see. So guys, have you heard about the new hilarious thing? It's hilarious. Give it a listen. Thankfully, the game seems to be taking pity on me, and now I have plenty of health. Now, Crashman is absolutely impossible without the airman thing. I just can't beat him. I've tried. It doesn't work. But with the Crashman thing, or with the airman thing, he just dies immediately. When the bosses in this game have weaknesses, they are not kidding. Those are some real weaknesses. You hear that? That's what you're gonna hear on the way down to hell. Yeah, that is an excruciating, ear-piercing noise, especially if you have one of those televisions that people had back then, where you just had the little tiny speaker that was really tinny sounding. I think they just did that just to piss people off, because it worked. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with, traditional Christian music, but I go to church, and there's this thing called the candlelight service that we do where we sing a bunch of hymns and light candles for Christmas Eve. And on the Christmas of 2009, which is when I got this game, there was a song that somebody sang. It was called Mary Did You Know? And there's a very similar kind of rhythmic and note pattern going on that sounds almost exactly like it in this song. So when I first heard it, I was like, holy shit, but I really don't think they actually share any relation. A neat little tidbit, though. I don't know what to call those things that shoot noodles. I guess I'm gonna call them the noodle shooters. Because they shoot noodles. This stage in particular isn't very difficult. What does get difficult is the dragon. Yes, there is a dragon coming up in this stage, and that does sound absolutely fucking awesome, but the dragon provides some interesting challenges. Mostly in how asinine and back-ass it is to actually get through it. Oh, fuck. But anyway, one other thing I remember about the day after I got this game was that I finally managed to beat all 8 Robot Masters. I got to this part right here, and I couldn't do it. This was the part in the game where I stopped. I almost never got all the way through it because I couldn't do it. I couldn't get past that part right there. Not even the dragon. It was just that part. I don't know why it was so difficult for me. But anyway, I do know for a fact that the dragon is weak to the quick boomerang, so I'm gonna equip that. He also takes a fair amount of damage from the crash bombs, but not nearly as much as the quick boomerang. 2 bosses in the Wily stages of this game are weak to the quick boomerang. This is where the boss fights in the game start to actually become interesting. Because they're fucking hard. Oh shit. Oh shit! God damn it! Okay, well, I'm not angry. I'm not livid or mad in any kind of discernible way, so don't worry about me. The main trick there is to just remain on the very top platform, so if you fall, you, kind of fall down to a lower platform, like what just happened, except I didn't manage to get back up on time. Oh, I really didn't practice that dragon thing very much because I hate it. I just did it once. I hate the dragon. I really do. Shit. But anyway, if it doesn't sound like it, I'm actually having a lot of fun in this game, so don't think I'm one of those people that absolutely hates video games, because why would I be playing it if I did? Oh, one other interesting thing. If you hit the start button on the E-Tank, if your health is completely full, it'll just go away. It'll be wasted. So make sure not to do that. I found that out the hard way when I accidentally selected the E-Tank and I just wasted all 3 of my E-Tanks at the time. It was really awful. I don't know why it just doesn't not give it to you. It just has to go away. Later games solve that kind of problem. Okay, I didn't know that happened. Oh, man. Oh. Holy shit. Don't worry, guys, I'm gonna get this eventually. I swear I'm not awful at this game. Well, maybe. The Wily stages in these early Mega Man games are unforgiving. Ass! Yeah, that's the problem I was having. Like I told you, I couldn't get through that. I guess that's what I was doing. I just couldn't do it. This part of the game right here. This is where things start to get really infuriating. I'm actually not using my turbo controller right now. I have an NES Max and an NES Advantage. I obviously am not going to use the NES Advantage, but for Mega Man 6 I'm going to pull out the NES Max. Because, it's pretty good for its turbo qualities. And if I'm playing not on a stream or not for a Let's Play or something, I usually use the NES Max for this particular thing. There we go. That wasn't very hard. It is pretty hard, but it's also not. I just have to actually dodge the fireballs. I think I was a little distracted the first time. What's interesting about the Mega Man 2 Wily stages is that the first 2 stages have probably the best music of any Wily stage in any Mega Man game. But the last 2 stages have pretty awful music, to be honest. It's not very good. It's just kind of a series of chords. Yawn. But, you know, if that's your thing, then, you know, you're wrong, and I'm right. So, we're just gonna keep going through... No, not really. We're just gonna keep going through the Wily stages here. There's really not a lot of interesting things to say. Oh my god! Oh god! Oh, I looked away from the screen for a second. I almost died. Oh yeah, the cassette tape stage. It does kind of sound like a cassette tape. It's got some wow and flutter going on in it. Got the wow style. Now, there's this guy I used to watch on YouTube. His name is Aqualung Game Reviews, and he used to say that the best thing against metal, or those little drill things that come out of the wall, are the metal blades. And I wholly disagree, because it's actually impossible to shoot the metal blades while you're moving. And moving through those is extremely crucial. So if you can't shoot through them, it's kind of a waste. So I usually just use the proton cannon with it. I gotta remember not to look away from the screen for any reason. One thing that is interesting is that, for some reason the capture card is picking up the color of the stage is kind of a light green. It's more brown. There are clearly some problems going on with the color timing of my capture card. Speaking of problems, I might die if I don't pay more attention. These things do a shitload of damage if they come in contact with you. Fuck. Okay. No worries, no problem. I can just get back to it. I'm telling you, man, this game... It's the source of some of my greatest memories and also some of the worst. Hope I have enough energy to get up there. Okay, I guess I don't. Fuck me. Gotta go back and get more. That's one thing I really hate about these. If you run out of weapon energy, you're just hosed. You gotta get more. Usually they do offer some kind of way to get more weapon energy, so you're not just stranded. Because if you were, that would be really shitty. That should be enough. Now, another thing about the NES Max is that I usually use that to get through those drill things. God damn it. Take your time going away, that's fine with me. Some people use the flash stopper to get through this, but I don't think it's necessary. God damn it. I guess it is necessary. Alright. Now, obviously, the best weapon to use for this is the metal blades, which can be said about 89% of this game. Because, to be honest, the metal blades are kind of ridiculous. One of these days I'm gonna do a run of this game that doesn't involve the metal blades. Because, to be honest, they're kind of a crutch. They just make everything super easy. Alright, that wasn't so bad. Alright. Now we're going on to the cassette tape stages. This should be fun. I wonder if you recorded this music onto an old cassette tape, if you would actually get more of a wow and flutter effect. Let's see, I have 2 E-tanks. Nope, I'm not gonna get it. I don't want it. Alright, so now we're in some nasty shit water. I don't know what color it's gonna come out on the screen, but it's probably not. It's kind of a light brown. I mean, I think the color shit really is what they were going for here. Like, kind of a mixture of shit and piss. It's kind of a yellow-brown. And yellow-brown is the most disgusting of all color combinations. Oh god, it's kind of a light green on the stream. That's not correct. Now, can you just imagine floating around in this nasty water with all these spikes surrounding you, and if you cut yourself, you pretty much just have to kill yourself instantly, which is what Mega Man does, because if I cut myself underwater where there was all that nasty piss and shit everywhere, not only would I probably have tetanus, but it would also be really gross, which is the biggest problem. Now for this, the Quick Man Boomerang is going to be necessary. And the thing comes out and it's revealed to be Gutsman. Just a big Gutsman thing. Which, honestly, this is hilarious. I have no idea why it had to be Gutsman. There's also an L, a P, and some Japanese characters on the end of it. Alright. Now we go on to the purple stage. This is a very purple stage. I mean, this is... As far as purple stages go, this is probably the most purple. Oh yeah, I forgot about the Gutsman thing. It's Gutsman! Oh man, that's a blast from the past right there. I forgot all about it. Yeah, my capture card's picking up this purple pretty nicely. Yeah, purple is actually the color of my favorite pony from My Little Pony Friendship is Magic Twilight Sparkle. So every time I play this stage, I don't think of her because that would be ridiculous. You guys need to stop accusing me of things. Alright, here we go. There might be an actual strategy for what blocks you gotta jump over to avoid dying, but I just get out the 2. You just number 2 over it, you know. Number 2 can be useful in many situations. Now, this particular part of the stage is going to start the whole, yeah, this shit. I need to... If you guys notice, I do a thing where I get on the ladders and I immediately press A to jump off of them. And, in this part, doing that can actually get you killed because you jump right onto the spikes and you gotta hang onto the ladder and wait for the little pulley thing to come around. The most important thing to remember with this pulley thing, of course, is that you gotta be patient. You gotta wait until it's your time to go. Because if you don't, you can just jump. Like earlier today, I was practicing this, and I jumped off of this onto that platform over there prematurely. Which I should not have done because I died. So, patience is the key to succeeding at this part of the game. You just gotta be patient. And if you're a 12-year-old kid with ADHD and Asperger's and allergies to, like, I don't know, something disgusting, then you're probably not gonna do very well with this. That's what video games used to teach people, is that you need to have patience and respect for your surroundings. I'm just pulling that out of my ass. I don't actually know if it teaches me anything. What did Toast call those big, things? I forgot. He called them something hilarious. Walk-a-minute. Walk-a-thingers. Walker-dockers. Limbo-guinea. Oh god, Walter, if you're listening to the stream, you need to paste the Limbo-guinea. Somebody needs to paste the Limbo-guinea. Alright. This part of the stage sucks, because there's only one weapon in the whole game that's effective on anything in this room, and that's the crash bombs. The crash bombs are the only thing that can take out those walls, and the crash bombs are also the only things that can take out the, guns on the wall. Now, that sounds fine, except you don't have enough crash bombs to destroy all of them. So, there is a very specific way to kind of utilize all your crash bombs well enough to get through it in one go. But pretty much the prevailing strategy is, your first life, you just gotta break all the walls with your crash bombs. Then your second life, you gotta go back and refill your crash bombs so you can actually get through the turrets. I've never learned the strategy where you can get through it in one go, because I don't particularly care. But, it might be a useful thing to learn one of these days. Because I would like to actually get through that in one go, because I really hate this shit where you gotta wait on these damn platforms and go through all this shit. I consider myself a patient person, but my patience runs out when it's this shit. Yep. So guys, let's talk about the exciting thing. that's going on while this exciting thing is happening. I am incredibly excited by what's happening. Just gotta entertain myself by jumping around. I hope I have enough 2 to get across. Just number 2 your way across that shit. You don't gotta put up with anything. I'm sure there's a better way. I don't give a shit. Oh yeah, I gotta refill my crash bombs. So I'm gonna get out my proton shooter. That didn't give me a damn thing. Damn it! You know, that could have gone better. Shit, better start dropping some health. Alright, thank you. Now I actually need some weapon ammo for my, you know, the actual purpose of why I'm farming. Farming in Mega Man games can be a pain in the ass because there's no limit to how many times an enemy can spawn on the screen. If you pass a particular point, an enemy's gonna spawn there, like what just happened. So, if you have to deal with a bunch of these walksters, it can be particularly painful. Especially if they don't give you what you're looking for. Come on, you piece of shit. I will shit in your mouth. Oh no! That's not what I meant to do. Oh, fuck it. Just die, go away. Who's making a call on the Skype group? I'm gonna pause for a moment to decline this call. Because as great as being in a Skype call would be, at the moment it would not be great. Okay, so, now that I've got enough of that, I need to farm for health so I can survive this boss fight. Which, farming for health might be a little bit of a contradiction here. God damn it. I think I'm actually going to fucking die. Fuck it, I don't care. I can probably get through the rest of the stages just fine. I just can't put up with this anymore. Come on, you fucking turret pieces of shit. Honestly, this is a fucking stupid idea. Oh, hey, what are we gonna do for this boss fight? Oh, well, let's make the only weapon that's effective. You gotta blow up all the things, but you don't have enough. So you gotta kill yourself and come back. Let's put it in the game. I'm so excited. Look at me and my job as a professional game designer. Okay. Oh man, we're going to the final stage, guys. Alright, now if I was a cool dude, I would know exactly what these stages are, but since I'm not cool, I don't know what these are. This first one might be Airman. It's definitely not Airman. Yeah, you just gotta fight all the Robot Masters again, which is a staple of Mega Man games, of course. It's not particularly hard in this game. In other games, this lineup of all 8 Robot Masters rips my shit in half, but in this game, it's not particularly difficult. Just fucking die. There we go. Alright, I don't know who I'm going to next. I think this might be Woodman? Yeah, it's Woodman. I actually do remember something. What's funny about Woodman is that if you have the fire thing, he actually dies in one hit with a fully charged one. Which is pretty nifty. I don't remember who this next one is. Maybe, I think it's Flashman. Nope, Bubble Man. The Metal Blades are equally as effective, though. Bubble Man might have an actual weakness, and so might Flashman, but the Metal Blades are so incredibly effective against them, I just don't even bother with anything else. That was particularly challenging. Probably the best fight he's ever put up. That is not Metal Man, but I believe that's Flashman. It's probably not going to be Flashman. No, it's Crashman, which does rhyme, so I was, like, kind of right, you know, in a way. Oh, shit. I hope I don't run out of the air thing. I hope I don't run out of the air thing. Yeah, those leaves are particularly challenging, Brenna. They fall from the sky in a rhythmic pattern. Now, Metal Man is hilarious, because he just dies to his own weapon, just instantly, 100% kill, nothing, he just fucking goes away. It's incredible. Anyway, this is Flashman. I know that because he's the only one I haven't seen yet. He just fucking dies, too. Which is pretty pathetic. So for this, I'm gonna need... I start off with the Metal Blades. And then I move on to the Crash Bombs, which, I hope I have enough. I fucking don't. Using up all my E-tanks. Now, this stage is creepy, because there's absolutely no music. You start off by falling, which I'm sure this would kill even Chell, but, there's just this radioactive semen that falls from the ceiling, and you gotta get through it without getting hit, because it does an assload of damage if you get hit by it. They fall in this kind of little weird pattern. And they're pretty easy to avoid, but like I said, if you get impatient, it becomes more challenging. You can actually get in between them if you stand in just the right spot. I'm not going to rush too much, because I'm not in any kind of rush. Sometimes I always manage to get hit by at least one of these. So anyway, like I was saying earlier, if you remember, the final boss of the game is this big, monstrous alien thing. Like, alright, that's fine. It's weak to bubbles, though. It's fucking weak to bubbles. The final boss, the climactic kind of boss fight in the entire game, is weak to bubbles. I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess. But that's a pretty shitty weakness. I guess it kind of works, though, because, bubbles are pretty hard to actually aim properly. But yeah, plot twist, it was actually Wily controlling a thing all along. And it's a really funny thing that just kind of floats around in this really shitty pattern. You think he could have switched up his pattern a little bit. But yeah, I think the ending to this game would have been seriously ruined had it actually been aliens. Like real, actual aliens. But yeah, this is some nice ending credit music. I think my favorite music from any Mega Man game at all is Mega Man 3's opening title sequence music. It's just great. But this music's pretty good too. I'm just gonna kind of let this sink in a little bit that we've just finished a journey. So guys, what are some interesting and thrilling questions I can ask the audience? What'd you guys think of the game? So personally, this is one of my favorite games. It's extremely frustrating, but it can be really rewarding when you actually beat it. I like this shot. That's some good pixel art. Alright, well I'm gonna shut off the console. Alright, well, anyway, that is just the first hour of my 4-hour stream, and what I'd like to do is, in between these games, I'm gonna stream an Atari game. So, I'm gonna pick one of these to stream. Hopefully it'll be kind of interesting. For some reason, my Atari looks really fucking bad through this VCR on the stream. It's just awful. So, if that's a problem, I'm not gonna do anything about it, because it's a bit too late for that. Doesn't look too bad on the stream, but on my TV screen, there's just all this shit floating everywhere. Just analog noise is what it is. Yeah, Missile Command is a pretty good game. But, yeah, this is a pretty ballin' game. I'm in band at my high school, and, we had this big video game night at the end of the band camp one day to, you know, kind of relax and wind down. And my band director grew up playing the Atari 2600 and to some extent the Nintendo Entertainment System, so I decided to be a cool dude and bring my Atari along with me. And when he found out I had all these games, he was like, holy shit, and he started playing Missile Command, and one of his favorite games for the Atari 2600 is E.T. the Extraterrestrial. He was a kid back when E.T. was relevant and it came out, and you guys don't really understand, but neither do I, but the hype that was going on around that game and that movie was astronomical. And video games were a lot more expensive back then than they are now. Oh, shit. But if you spend like $60 on a game, then you were gonna enjoy it, because that was probably like your only Christmas present. Because it's fucking expensive. So, you got E.T. the Extraterrestrial, and you got it, and, you know, you just kind of played through it. And for a lot of people, the concept of a good video game and a bad video game hadn't really set into their minds yet, so there was no real hive mind back then, because, you know, you didn't have any internet, you didn't have any, you know, shit to do, and chances are if you played video games, you didn't have any fucking friends anyway, so you probably just... You know, you probably just got the game and you were like, alright, well, this is alright. You probably had some concept of, oh, I don't enjoy this as much as others, but, for the most part, you just kind of played what you got. Now, if you were alive back when the Atari 2600 was becoming irrelevant, like after the video game crash, you could pick up Atari games in malls and bargain bins for like $5, which back then was equivalent to about $34, but still, that was a pretty good bargain. You could actually pick up an Atari for pretty cheap even back then. But these days, people are seeing the value in old video games, and their value is... I just lost 2 of my things, because I'm not paying attention. Value in vintage things is going up quite a bit, with record players and vintage video game consoles and all that. I don't actually know if there's a series to these things, or if the missiles are just randomly generated. Seems like they're randomly generated, or they might have some kind of pattern that they follow where, they attack specific plots more than others. Fuck. Yeah, the, E.T. games were actually buried in a desert, somewhere in New Mexico. And the AVGN movie was going to focus on that, how they were going to find the old ET cartridges. But recently, there was actually an excavation crew that went out, and they dug up all the cartridges, and they found them. I don't know what kind of state the cartridges were actually in, but the official word is that the cartridges were crushed, melted, buried, and then covered with a layer of cement. And considering the fact that they actually managed to find it, it's possible that the cement part of the story isn't actually true. Because I don't know if you've tried to dig through cement, but it's really fucking difficult. But yeah, those games have been underground for so long in such a condition, I would be seriously surprised if they worked in any capacity. I actually have a copy of E.T. I'm not going to play it, because I don't like that game. But, to be honest, the video quality on my end is so bad it's actually kind of giving me a headache. Oh, God. I think I have an extra life. Nope, I don't. That's the end of the game. Well, that was fun. Let's see. Alright, here we go. Yar's Revenge. Fuck. Damn it! Now, Yar's Revenge was a staple of my Stella library, so to speak. God damn it. And, I used to emulate a lot of or Atari games. And, one of those was... Yar's Revenge. So, let's see. If I remember correctly, you have to touch the cotile, which is that big, sort of alien weird thing that spins around and floats at you. And if you hit the cotile, he explodes and he fucking dies. So anyway... Oh god, yeah, this is great. There's this little section in the middle where you're invisible. It's not a glitch. It's just, that's the neutral area where you can't fire anything, and this little shitty rape bullet that flies around can't get you either. Basically, that little strip is the 60s, and you have to fly through the 60s in order to, you know, become neutral or something, I don't know. Insert some kind of shitty joke about political neutrality or something. Use your imagination, folks. I don't have any to spare. Damn it. I'm not very good at this game. That damn flying missile thing annoys me to no end. What I like about your little ship thing is that you can like, chip away these little blocks. You can just kind of touch them and they go away. Excellent. Now we're back to the other thing, and it gets a little faster, a little more challenging. Atari games don't generally have an end unless you're playing E.T. or something, which if you're playing E.T. you need to get your fucking head checked. Damn it. If any of y'all are wearing headphones, you'll notice that there's a very pleasing sort of pulsating noise in the back of this, because the Atari was capable of some really nice pulsating noises. It's going like, woo, woo, woo. I can't hear that because my television doesn't have the best speakers. But, it's really nice. Let's just chip away at this real quick. Fuck! Well, that's the end. I got 27,274 points. If you can beat me, I will give you $700 million. Try it at home, kids.